I love science. I just think it's incredibly pretentious and has claimed too much. Its methods are great. Its constipated conservatism is maddening because what it deals with is the most interesting thing there is, nature. Nature is very, very interesting, complex, and permits all kinds of radical speculation about what has happened. It's just that science is also a business, and also a priesthood, and also a men's club, and also the plaything of certain classes. So all that has to be overcome. My method, I suppose, if method is the word which I would share with you, since this question about the New Age came up, is not to embrace things which are simply outrage bourgeois sensibilities, but to explore edges, to test edges yourself. That's the important, yourself. You don't learn about Tantra by reading about Tantra, or Ibogaine by reading about Ibogaine. You have to go and do these things. And what you will discover is, you will be fleeced a few times in your youth with this method, You'll get in with some flying saucer cult or some beady-eyed guru and his fanatical devotees, but eventually you'll learn the neighborhood and you'll become street smart and you won't be a mark. That's the goal of a real spiritual method, is to not be a mark. And then when you get that together, lo and behold, you would think this would lead to cynicism. Because you say, well, I went and I stayed with Babaji and he was a jackass, and then, I joined the Unitarian Uniformitarian Unifunctionalists, and that was just a scam, and so forth and so on. You would think it would lead to cynicism. Not if you keep to the edges, because eventually you're going to come to psychedelics. And then, lo and behold, jackpot, the real thing, weirdness beyond all possibility to comprehend. You have just won the Publishers Clearing sweepstakes of peculiarity. Yeah. I have a friend in London who's a rare book dealer, and when I'm in London, I'm usually able to contrive a situation where he has to have some errand out. And so then I'm left alone for hours with the books inside these multiple concentric circles of security. And I can open up all the cases and pour through this stuff. And it's astonishing. I mean, the cul-de-sacs into which the human mind has wandered, phlogiston theory, the Chaldean oracles, the Wunderkammer, the hollow earth thing, and then all this literature of exploration. I mean, the stratigraphy of the human experience is maps and machines and diaries and blueprints, and out of all this, if there can be a pattern, then there's a kind of an epiphany, a kind of a sense of order, of aha, it does make sense. It isn't simply a chaos. Well, that's a Hindu notion of this same thing, essentially. This Platonic superdimension where all and everything is suspended and in place. If you ever want to have a very bizarre sub-psychedelic experience when you're in Oxford, go to the Pitt Rivers Museum. Everybody goes to the Ashmolean, and of course you should, to see the Uccellos and all that. But on the kinkier side, the Pitt Rivers Museum. Pitt Rivers was an early ethnographer in England, and into one of those Victorian cast metal and glass ceilinged buildings, he gathered hundreds of millions of objects classified by category. So, there are like 50,000 needles from all over the world in drawers, 10,000 pairs of pliers from all over the world, from all times and places, and on, and they're in drawers which you can open, and the stuff is stacked up 20 feet high, and you realize that it's a concentration of manas. It's a concrescence. There's one section where there are over 200 drawers labeled magical amulets. And you open these drawers and look, magical amulets, southern Iraq, magical amulets, Syria, and on and on. Very bizarre. That to me is, searching for pattern through the detritus of human history, because I really think that we are caught up in a relationship with something very, very mysterious. I don't like religious vocabularies, but an epiphany is taking place. Consciousness is really important, and it is using the stuff of biology to create some kind of new order in nature. And technology, I'm convinced, has something to do with it. That machines are more than they appear to be, and the machine, as we have known it, is to modern technology, is to a possible technology what the chipped flint is to the technology that we possess today. I mean, the concept of a machine, which is downloading of a function into matter, is a concept of immense profundity. Life may be able to extend its career by orders of magnitude through this means. And life is now seen to be, I think, clearly central in the evolution and the career of the universe. Most stars gutter out of existence after 500, 600 million years. That's the average lifetime of a star. We happen to be on a planet around an extraordinarily slow-burning and smooth-burning star that has lasted a long time. But life on this planet has been here for at least 2 billion years. That's 3 times the life of the average star. Biology is persistent. Biology is a major player. And biology is not entropic. A star, no matter how smooth burning and self-sustaining, is on a downward energy curve toward heat, death, and extinction. Biology, on the other hand, it pumps itself to higher and higher levels of complexity, faster and faster.